Good morning, fellow Lions, brothers and sisters. How are you? I hope all is well with you. This is Teacher Kaitesi. So I have a message for you today. And I would like to say that you don't ever worry and think what has happened. It has been how many days she hasn't said anything. For me, when the Spirit gives me the message, that's when I will come and give it. There are days when they will give me 2-3 messages a week, I come and give them. There are days when they don't give me anything to share. They just teach me my own stuff. So I just take it how it goes. I don't probe every day and have to look for something to tell you, no. I don't want to make this unnatural, because once you try to tamper with things as opposed to their natural process, then it leads to complications, I find. So for me, I'm doing this as naturally as it can be. When I get a message, I come and give it. If I don't, then you won't hear from me. Okay? Yeah. So, this message today is about you changing one of your habits. Just one. Because science says when you change one of your habits from the routine that you have been using to a different one, that actually it changes your whole system, your body system. Okay? And so Spirit told me something recently and said, you need to find a habit that you can make a change with so that you actually effect a shift in your life. A shift. And I thought just changing one thing will cause a shift. Then I thought that's too easy. So Spirit said choose. Now, personally, a couple of years ago when I had just come to Rwanda, that is 2017, I heard of this story where I was staying. There was this guy who was diagnosed with a tumor, and the doctors decided that he would get an operation after 2 months. So they give him the schedule for the operation, and he goes back home. Okay? So they give him a bunch of medication to take in the meantime until when he comes for the operation after the 2 months. Now, in Rwanda, there are these Adventist herbalists. Okay, so they treat illnesses and stuff using vegetables, fruits, and herbs. Okay, so he had heard about them. He hadn't really gone into it, but then he decides to go look into it because he was already organized to have an operation. So he thought, let me try it and see. So he goes there. He tells them what happened. They see his papers, and he tells them about having an operation in 2 months, and he didn't really want to have the operation. So he said, what can I do not to have this operation? So they told him to start on a raw food diet. Raw foods only. So what happens for the next 2 months, they put him off sugar, okay? And they put him on raw foods only. Vegetables, fruits, and then they would also give him some herbal concoctions to drink, okay? And then it was just fruit juices, everything that was natural, nothing cooked for the next 2 months. So after the 2 months, he goes back to the doctor, and the doctor does the checkups, and then they realize that the tumor was different. It was a smaller size than it was the last time, like really had shrunk. So they tell him, the doctor asks, what have you been doing? So he tells the doctor what he was doing. So the doctor tells him, you know what? The size that it is at right now, we do not need to operate. Why don't you go back and do what you've been doing? Okay? So he went back. Now, remember they had given him medicine. When he started on the herbal treatment, they told him not to take the medicine. So he didn't take the medicine they had given him at the hospital. He was only using the herbs, okay, and the foods. In this story, he had written his testimony, and he said even the herbs that they were giving him to drink were regular tea herbs, cinnamon, cloves, the regular tea stuff. He said there was nothing. It's just that he was not taking it with sugar. He said they weren't giving me anything special except the regular foods that you see in the market every day that you buy, and I was only eating them raw. Okay? So he goes back, he continues doing the same thing, and after another month he goes back to check, and the doctor says, you know what, just do this. Because what is remaining is so small, it is not of any threat. So he goes back a total of 6 months later, and there's nothing in his body. Even other things that he had as issues had all been resolved, and he was healthy. Okay? So when I read about it, I remember thinking, just raw foods. I would want to one day try that. But every time I thought of trying it, it just somehow, something intervened and I never really did. So this last month, from sometime on the 20th, this last month, I decided, you know what, let me start on this raw food diet. Because the Spirit said, change one thing, I said, let me change this. So I start. I have to tell you, the first day is okay. The second day, it feels like your hunger, you can't get satisfied. You eat. I ate so much fruits and so much vegetable, but I wasn't getting satisfied. So I asked Spirit why this is. And Spirit says, naturally, your body has been starved. You think you're eating all this rice that is from, with all the fertilizers that you know are in foods today. You're eating rice, you're eating beans, you're eating peas, you're eating whatever. But all this stuff has so much chemicals that were used from when it was planted to when it was harvested, and then you added on to cooking it, and then, so basically there's not much nutrients for the body. So the body is naturally, it has been starved. I thought, what? The Spirit told me you have been starving. According to your body, it was starving, even when for you, you felt like you had a full belly of food. So I went on, third day. Now, around the third day, I think the hunger was so much, I literally felt like I was not going to be able to eat enough fruits and vegetables to satisfy this hunger. So I asked Spirit what I could eat that was cooked. So Spirit told me you can have boiled eggs. Okay? So I bought some eggs and boiled some eggs and added onto my vegetables. Okay? But around the fourth, fifth day, it's like you're used to it. You don't even get hungry now. Like literally, I don't get hungry. Like I will wake up in the morning. Okay, so let me go back the fifth day anyway. So fifth day, I'm not really hungry. Like the whole day until like 4, 5 in the evening, that's when I started feeling hungry. What I did all throughout the day, I was having the tea. I would boil the cloves, and then I would also add in there some like little herbs that, simple herbs that you can find around. Don't go out of your way to find things, because with us, what happens, Spirit always makes our things readily available. Find something which is herbal that you can have, because I have some herbal teas, but like these local plants that people use in tea that are not a big deal. There's something called the blackjack, the one that has black seeds. I don't know whether people know that, but that thing is nice tea, and that's an antioxidant. So I put that, and then I put cloves, and then I some days use cinnamon, some days I use ginger, but I have it without sugar, no sugar. So literally I get all the taste in everything that I'm taking. So I make it like how you would have your drinking water. I make that tea and make a liter and just put it in my water bottle like this. And so I have it, all the morning, into lunchtime, 2 o'clock. If I get hungry by 3, I have something to eat. Okay? But then I'll still have the vegetables and fruits. And of course, because I am used to having cooked food and it has been with me forever, like once a week, I find a place that I can have what I know will give me my full satisfaction. Your thing that you like. And for me as a lion, of course, it has to have meat. Yeah. So once a week, I find a nice place to have some nice muchomo. Just once. One meal, either lunch or dinner. I have my muchomo with maybe some chips, some, roasted matoke, something. But once a week. If it gets to a point where I feel like it's so bad, like if, say, I visit somebody, because I visited an aunt, and of course I wasn't going to tell her that I'm on a raw food diet, so I had lunch with them, which I had bugali and beans, but mostly I will have a meal once a week with people, because I do not want people to start asking, you're not eating these days, I'm a teacher, so I'm expected to go to the dining with my students, so I will go there and then I'll just have juice. We have fruit juice in the dining. Of course, it has sugar, but not much because it's for students. And then what I do, I get a cup of it, and then I get water, and I mix it up so that, just so that I'm not strange. Because, people, they're always following us. They're always trying to find out what we are doing, what we're not doing. Why aren't you eating? Why, And so the day when I have my meal, I make sure that they know that I've eaten and they can see that I have eaten. But this is what I can tell you. So from last month, 20th, until now, this is like a month when I've been doing this. So let's say that on average I've eaten cooked food twice a week, from the 20th to the 20th to the 21st. And this is what I've realized. One, I'm like more satisfied with how life is than I was before. I used to have, of course, angry moments where I would think of things which people have done to me, because Spirit makes sure they bring back those things just to test if you're over it, whether you have healed from it. And I've realized that I've healed from so many things. Like in my head now, I know that I don't get well paid because I have to be made to feel bad. Like I have to be made not to feel special. And that's why usually they don't pay us as good as they should. They don't pay us our worth so that we don't feel that important. I know. See, I've always known this, but I was trying to come up with a plan to ask for more and more money and stuff, and then I realized I was coming up with a lie to tell, you understand? But then Spirit just clearly showed me that if you tell a lie so that they increase your your salary, that is to say that you have put yourself in a trap with them. You understand? And you see, if there's anything that these other people want us to do is to tell a lie. The moment you tell a lie, they are going to do it for you because they know you're lying. They know you're lying. So once you tell them a lie, they are happy that you've told the lie and they're going to do it. They're going to buy the lie. But you see, at the same time, you bind yourself to them. Okay? So I realized, you know what? They will never pay me enough. So my real freedom is mine, is where I'm working for myself, doing my own thing. That's where my real freedom is. So I'm not going to tie myself, I bind myself to other people, to their businesses and to their companies, just because I want more money. So I decided against it. But I really was planning on what would be a good lie. Anyway, and another thing I've realized, I have no patience for bullshit. The moment you start talking and my mind is already showing me where this conversation is going and you're in any way trying to offend me, I shut you down very quickly. Like quickly. Okay? So I realized that I don't have much complaint, because whatever comes, I handle it immediately. It comes, I handle it, and it's done. I don't have anything pending anymore. I don't have pending things that I haven't done. Okay? I've totally accepted that I'm here to learn, and so everything that is happening to me is a lesson. And once I gain the knowledge that I'm supposed to out of the lesson, then the lesson moves on, and I move on to another one. Okay? So, just me changing my food and putting myself on more raw food than cooked food over the past month has sincerely changed me as a human being. I feel like me last month and me today are two different people. Maybe I still look the same, but psychologically in here, different person. Like really different. And this now, I feel like I've completely gone over whoever did whatever they did, because I know I came here for this exam, and so they did what they were supposed to do. They did what came naturally to them, the same way I did what came natural to me. So everyone around you is doing what they're supposed to do. It's about you knowing yourself. Get to know yourself better. You understand? That's all. That's all. Just get to know yourself better. That's all. And raw food is real food. It's actually real food. And I know most of the foods that we're eating have fertilizers. That's true. But picture that when you cook them, you have mixed all these chemicals from the onions, from the tomatoes, from the green pepper, from the food, all those chemicals you've mixed and you've heated them up. What have you created? Just think about it. We all did chemistry, yes? So remember, when you get one chemical and add it to another one and heat it, remember what would happen. That's what we are doing to ourselves. So this food that we are eating, not only is it already half dead, but then we go back to killing it and creating more complications for ourselves. Okay? So I feel totally different, and I'm relating to people differently. Like when I think about people like that I work with these days, even where I was more tolerant the last time, I'm not bothered. It's really like I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. You be what you are. I am what I am. I don't care if you change. It's your business. It's not really my place to change you. My place is to show you an example. You understand? We're here as teachers. We're supposed to show these people an example. We're not really supposed to talk them into changing. No. You just be the change. Be the change. So now me, I'm doing me. Me. You get? I am me. I'm not going to waver about being who I am. You're not going to try in any way to sway me to see things the way you see them. No. I do me, you do you. Okay? And this is just 1 month. So, brothers and sisters, find that one thing that you always felt that you wanted to change. You wanted to change one of your habits. You wanted to do this. And maybe the time never came around to you doing it. Do it. Do it. It will cause a total shift. You will find yourself in a different place. You will finally understand what it means that there is a separation happening between us and these other entities. There is really a separation happening. You will really feel it. The people last month that you used to meet and they would somehow try to make you feel like you should respect them or see them in a certain way. Now when you see them, you don't feel any of that vibe. You just see them, you greet them, and that's it. You don't put people in your mind. Like there's nothing else in my mind anymore. No one bothers me. No one bothers me. Like really. So brothers and sisters, Spirit says, change one thing, and then the Spirit will do the rest. Just give up one of your habits. Give up something that you've been doing, that you've always felt you wanted to change. Change it, and then see what happens. Okay? So otherwise, I wish you all the best. Have a great, great, great September. The remaining part of September, enjoy it, and let's move. We are really moving forward, so all the best. Have a good day.